Hey everybody, MotorPoet59 here. I posted a couple of videos last week, the week before, maybe more than that, about the Russia-Ukraine thing. And I had a viewer make a comment on one of them where he took issue. The first thing he took issue with was my comment that the Ukraine wasn't a democracy or a republic the way that America knows a democracy and republics. And I stand by my statement. Actually, Ukraine may be a little more of a democracy because democracy is nothing more than mob rule. We live, Americans, and I get tired of hearing people, uninformed people say, yeah, but we live in a democracy. No, we don't. We live in a constitutional republic. And our representatives are elected by a democratic process. But anyway, another thing he took issue with, well, he didn't take issue with it, he just said, I commented that in all of them, that we don't need to be there. We shouldn't be there. We have no need to be in some place that really means so little to America. I had another viewer say, yeah, America can't opt out now that since it's exerted its power. You know what? America can opt out. What that gentleman was talking about, the Ukraine guy, was the Budapest Memorandum. That was signed in 1994 by the Ukraine, Russia, the United Kingdom, the United States, and to a lesser extent was agreed to by China and France. One of the other things he said was that the United States agreed in this memorandum to protect the sovereignty of the Ukraine if the Ukraine would get rid of its nuclear arsenal. And the Ukraine did. They got rid of their nuclear arsenal. But that's really not all that the memorandum said. It was a lot more complicated than that, even though it's not a very long, and it's not a treaty, it's just a memorandum. What it actually said was that these countries would all recognize the independence and sovereignty of the Ukraine, and that should they come under attack by a nuclear-capable nation, that we would consult with the UN Council on further action. That's essentially what it said. I'm paraphrasing big time here, but even then, I shouldn't say big time, not a lot. That's pretty much all it said. And where China and France were concerned, they didn't even go that far. They just said they would recognize their sovereignty and independence, but they really didn't get involved in the we'll run to your rescue should something happen. Russia is a nuclear-capable nation. Is Russia planning on deploying nukes against the Ukraine? Absolutely not. Where would that get them? They don't need a blown-up Ukraine. That's not going to do anybody any good. Right now, as of today, this is Monday, the 21st of February, and as of right now, Russia still hasn't attacked anybody. And I'm still hearing people say, oh, they've invaded, they've invaded. They haven't invaded. Biden is still offering diplomatic paths to take, and other countries are doing the same, and everybody hopes cooler heads will prevail, except possibly Russia. But Putin has recognized the independence of the rebels that are inside the Ukraine fighting. They're the ones doing all the invading and damaging. They're the ones shelling. They're the ones killing people. It is not Russia. Is Russia backing them up? Sure. The United States cannot complain about that because we have done the same thing to many countries since World War II. Since World War I, actually, but especially since World War II. So we're not in a position to throw rocks in our glass house at Russia's glass house. Do I hope cooler heads prevail? You bet I do. The Budapest Memorandum is not an end-all declaration that allows the United States, or even implied that the United States would act unilaterally in a case like this. I haven't been following the news that closely lately. I was on a long road trip. And since I've been home, I've been trying to get caught up on all the things I got behind on while I was on that road trip. I've been spending time with my family, and I haven't been paying attention much to the news. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because it was brought up to me. I'm glad this person brought that up because I had forgotten completely about it. Once he mentioned it, I knew something. I didn't know it was called the Budapest Memorandum. I just remember something being said about that way back then. As I still don't think we should go there. If Russia were to invade Ukraine and take it over, would it affect the United States? Maybe a little bit, but as I've said, let the chips fall where they may, and let's deal with the winners. Putin doesn't have a problem dealing with us. He doesn't have a problem. And they're still talking, Kamala Harris. I don't want to mispronounce it because one of my daughters' name is Camilla, and I don't want to insult her. Kamala Harris out there talking about sanctions and how the administration believes that Putin has made up his mind to invade. He's already made that decision. And I loved the response of the Ukraine president, whose name I can't recall at the moment, who said, what good are these sanctions going to do? If he's already made up his mind, then he doesn't care about your sanctions. He knows that you're going to do it. He obviously doesn't care. And what happens if he does invade? What good are your sanctions going to do when my country is suffering? And he has an extremely valid point. But anyway, enough of that. What do you think about all this? What do you think about sanctions? What do you think about unilateral decisions? What do you think about the UN getting involved? What do you think about all that? Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motorpoet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. We'll see you all later.